We're now being joined on the News at 10 by Dr. Mary Stephen, the Acting Director of Disease Prevention and Control, Department of the World Health Organization here in Nigeria, to look at the latest developments on the outbreak of Lassa fever in the country. Good to have you join us, Doctor. How can this present outbreak be curbed to prevent further spread of the disease to more states?
Thank you for having me. For preventive measures to stop the spread of this outbreak, we need a strengthened surveillance system, surveillance that will pick all the cases early enough. And then secondly, we need a robust contact tracing, ensuring that all contacts are listed and monitored for 21 days for fever and other symptoms. And then in the hospital setting, we have to clinicians must adhere to infection prevention and control measures.
What exactly we're not getting right here? Because if you look at it in comparison to the outbreak of Ebola, you would have noticed that we were able to go tracing all those who had contact. But with these, we have seen it in faraway River State, in Taraba State, in Niger State. It seemed as if we haven't been able to stop the spread.
Well, like you previously said on the news, Lassa fever is endemic in Nigeria. And this current outbreak is different from the Ebola outbreak. The Ebola outbreak was one outbreak, meaning all cases are linked to the index case, so they have epidemiological link from the index case, the cases in Lagos and Rivers. But the difference between the Ebola outbreak and the Lassa fever outbreak is the Lassa fever outbreak is actually not a single outbreak. There are different outbreaks in different states. So these outbreaks are not epidemiologically linked from one state to the other. So that's the reason why you're seeing it in different states, principally because it is endemic in Nigeria. So it is not one outbreak spreading to other states, but outbreaks in different states in Nigeria.
It is said that 20% of those who contract the virus are likely to come down with severe symptoms. What makes the difference in the other 80% who may not even know they had contracted the virus?
Okay, responding to infection in humans largely depends on individuals. Different individuals react or respond to different microorganisms differently, largely due to the immune status. So some might actually have mild disease and might not really notice symptoms, but others that are likely to be immunocompromised would come down with severe disease. So basically, our system reacts differently to different microorganisms, majorly because of our immune system.
Very quickly before we let you off, public health is very important now that we have this on our hands. What are those things we should be doing now?
Okay, from the population point of view in the community, what we need to do, we need to ensure good environmental hygiene, ensuring that bushes around our houses are cleared, make sure rats don't have access to the homes, and cover the food, water, and everything at home so that it doesn't get contaminated. Do not dry your food outside for the population, and don't treat sick patients with fever at home. Every patient with fever should be taken to the health facility where appropriate investigation will be carried out. And then in the health facility, like I mentioned earlier, they need to adhere to standard infection prevention and control measures, irrespective of the patient's diagnosis. So meaning that whether you know that this patient has Lassa fever or not, the clinician is obliged to adhere to the standard infection prevention and control measures to ensure that nosocomial infection does not occur, and also transmission from one patient to the other.
Dr. Mary Stevens, many thanks for speaking with us here on the News at 10.
Thank you.
Call it some evil in rats. To other news now, contractors working on projects for the Niger Delta Development Commission have been asked to deliver quality projects that would justify the Commission's financial investments. This directive was handed down by the new acting managing director of the Commission, Mrs. Ibim Seminatari, during an inspection of 9 ongoing projects in Rivers State.
It's the first tour of projects by the acting boss of the Niger Delta Development Commission. And the first stop is the 522-bed space prototype hostel at the University of Port Harcourt. With the contractor absent to explain the status of the project, the NDDC boss says the quality of the work leaves a bitter pill in the mouth.
Look at, no, just look at, is this fair? And then they will say this commission is not performing, and this contractor, I'm sure, is from the region.
Students of the school who turned up for the visit are impressed that the NDDC is stopping by.
Yes, we want to appeal that let your inspection of this project today not be a routine thing that other leadership have been backed upon. It will not be something that will be swept under the carpet, that there should be a speedy completion of this project so that by next session, students will make use of it.
We will work with him to make sure he does that, and if he doesn't do that, then well, there are issues, I'm sure, that allow us to get value for our money, and I'm sure that the legal people will talk to him if he doesn't do our work. He must understand that change has come. This is not a government where you spend money and we don't know where the money has gone. The money belongs to you as Nigerians, and that money cannot be thrown around.
From Uniport, the Niger Delta Regional Specialist Hospital is the next point of call. And here, the NDDC boss appears impressed.
We owe you to deliver on these projects. We owe it to Nigerians. It's a great project. And I commend the contractor for how far he has gone.
Other projects include the 6.1-kilometer link road in Okrika local government area, where the consultant explained why the project is yet to be completed.
I don't have the exact things that we are doing.
You will know why you will finish.
I don't know exact things that we are doing. This is what I know of now. This is the survey that has.
We will look at this first. We will look at this first. This was already asphalted.
The NDDC team also visited the Okrika Bonkiri Road and the Nigerian Police Barracks administrative project on the outskirts of Port Harcourt.
Following a directive by the Nigeria Communications Commission, NCC, to operators of the global system for mobile communication to deactivate all unregistered SIM cards, MTN subscribers have been storming registration centers in a last-minute rush to register their mobile lines. The re-registration is meant to correct improper details, which include facial capture, fingerprints, and other biometrics. China's television captured the mood at the registration centers, despite the obstruction of filming by some MTN officials.
Ojodu Beggar Connects is one of the MTN outlets designated to capture the biometrics of subscribers. But at sighting our camera, officials at the center stops us from filming. This man, known as the supervisor, demands a letter of authorization to enable us do our job.
Even if it's just like you said, if you civil society, we can do whatever the books for now. You need authorization for little before that, we can allow you to do that.
At another MTN center within the metropolis, a large number of subscribers wait to be attended to. Many have been here from the early hours of the day, and from the look of things, they may spend more hours before being attended to.
I don't think I will still be attended to in the next 2 hours.
Okay, if it stays till 5, 6, are you ready to stay back?
Because they will block it. I have to stay. I have no choice because that's my only line.
I've been here since almost to 7, and I'm still here. Yes. They've not attended to me.
7 o'clock. Okay, what number are you right now?
I'm so busy to my 235 according to what I wrote down, but I don't know what is happening here. They just attended to 100 and something now.
I've been here since 6 a.m. My number is 212. I've not been going to anywhere. I did this last 3 months. They call me again to come and do it again. It's very, very wrong. They do this over other areas. The last 3 months I was there to do this registration. Now they're coming back again. I don't know why.
We're wasting a lot of time here. These are the things they could have done long ago. People have been here. When you come here yesterday, it was like that. So much people. And the process is very slow.
Subscribers say they have been getting short messages from the mobile operator about the biometrics update. Some of the subscribers fear they may lose their lines.
Well, I got the same message, but the money is not ready to go by, because the truth is, even if we get 1,000 naira, 1 million naira, it still go back to them. And if they really want to give us the money, let them extend it to at least 2 or 3 months. Use that 1 million they give you. But how would they give for 1 week?
For me, they send me 500. And there's some 10,000. I don't know, they just do it at random. So the money they are paying or whatever, even if they give you 5,000, 10,000, it will just run like that within 7 days. That's not the issue. The issue why we are here is that we don't want our line to be blocked. And that is the threat they are using. Amidst this fear, an official of MTN who spoke off camera reveals that there is no deadline at the moment for subscribers to re-register the lines. The NCC had announced in August 18, 2015 that about 38.7 million lines were either unregistered or improperly registered. Out of these defective mobile numbers that belong to 4 network operators, about 10.7 million have been blocked.
Time for us to go to our newsroom studio, where we'll be talking our business newsroom studios. Adeshowa Josh is there for us to give us an update.
Thank you so much, Lyman. Good evening, everyone. I am Adeshowa Josh. These are the business news this hour. The stock market may return to a recovery path by the second quarter of the year. That's if traders' projection is anything to go by. According to the chief of executive of GTI Capital, Mr. Abubakar Lawal, the composition of the 2016 budget appears good enough to aid the recovery. Expecting the disposable income of Nigerians to increase, he says liquidity will impact the consumer index of the market.
Given the budget nature, there will be a lot of funds coming back into the system TSA notwithstanding, because a lot of money is going to be put out there for 1 on recurrent, 2 on capital projects, and that is going to, the multiplier effect of that is going to rub on the market directly. It's going to impact on consumer index as well. We envisage that by the second quarter, early second quarter, the disposable income of Nigerians should go up. A lot of activity is going to be coming up in the construction industry. A lot of activity is going to be coming up in the consumable goods sector of the economy as well, giving that drive. And so I envisage that the companies should be doing a lot better than what, and we will have been able to resolve largely some of the foreign exchange issues that we have at the market as we speak.
Away from the equities market now, with consistent issuance of OMO bills by the Central Bank of Nigeria, traders at the interbank market expect the lending rates to gradually inch up next week. The overnight lending rate closed at 1% yesterday, the same level last week, but went down from 2.5% seen on Thursday after the Apex Bank mopped up liquidity from the banking system. The central bank sold open market operation bills worth 189.99 billion naira this week in a bid to reduce liquidity in the market and curb pressure on the forex market. Traders say the Central Bank of Nigeria sold 33 billion naira worth in 224-day OMO bills at 7.9% yield on Tuesday, and another 156.99 billion naira in 205-day bills on Thursday. Now, African currencies are expected to come under pressure next week as emerging markets weaken due to China's economic woes, especially Zambia, which exports copper to the world's second largest economy. Other African currencies are seen weaker as dollar demand rises, as trade also picks up following the year-end holidays. Here in Nigeria, the naira is seen weakening a little next week as more businesses resume from holidays and dollar demand rises. The naira was down 10% year-on-year last year due to demand pressure in the wake of falling global oil prices and measures by the Central Bank of Nigeria to conserve its forex reserves. In Ghana, the cedi is expected to weaken as businesses begin to buy dollars for their first quarter import. The Ugandan shilling is forecast to trade with the weakening buyers, undermined by scant inflows weighing against rising dollar demand from exporters and banks. Now, traders expect the Kenyan shilling to ease due to increased dollar demand by companies. And finally, on Business News Tonight, the Nigerian equities market ended the first trading week of the year with a 5.63% decline. The all-share index finished at 27,028.39. Market capitalization also closed lower at 9.29 trillion naira. Market breadth was negative as 50 losers outweighed 17 gainers. Percentage-wise, Skybank was the heaviest loser with 19.64%. It is followed by Unity Bank and Nigerian bureaus. On the other hand, Okomu Oil, Vono Product and Learn Africa were the top three gainers for the week. At the end of this week's session, volume came in at 7.66 million shares, valued at 7.66 billion naira in 14,164 deals. There you have it. That's Business News this hour. The news at 10 continues in a moment.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigerian Flamingos thrashed Namibia 4-0 in the first leg of the 2016 FIFA Under-17 World Cup qualifier. That's some sports news. Do stay with us.